Hey, what's up guys, and tonight I'm only gonna be posting one what if on each channel. I'll begin by the original tomorrow. I hope you guys still enjoy though. I'm gonna be posting a new episode, part 21 of What If Naruto Pushed Himself to His Limit. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out What If Naruto was born in the Uzumaki clan, and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what is we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, Naruto was just finishing some training outside, with his shirt off, as he defeated his clones. Yuji would then arrive, as she was decked out in her envoy uniform with her blade, as she wanted to see how strong he has gotten as the both of them started to clash. Clashing all around. It was moving rather different, Naruto could feel it, as the both of them came at a locked sword, as she pushed the both of their blades up, and then kissed him, as Naruto was taken aback by that, really surprised, as she confessed her feelings to him and told him that she liked him, as Naruto just wanted to make sure that she wasn't rushing into anything, but she ended all of that argument with a kiss. We then skip to Orochimaru lair, as Sasuke had enough. Sasuke faced off against Orochimaru transforming into his white snake, and Sasuke absorbing him, instead of Orochimaru taking over him. Naruto was sent on a mission, along with Sakura, Ino, and Sai. They were surprised the way Naruto spoke to Koyoke, as they brought her to a different country as she talked to the other daimyo, as they came up with agreement for their trades. After that, Naruto spent the entire time with her, even going out at night and town with her. Meanwhile, Sasuke was off busy, as he was gathering his troops. He first went to get Shigetsu, and after that Karin, and then after that he went to get Jugo, as his team was forming. We then came back to Konoha after the mission was over, as Navi had the information, as Jiraiya was there as well, that Orochimaru was dead and Sasuke killed him as Sakura was in the office. As Sakura was happy, that means he's coming back to Konoha, right? But Naruto simply snorted and said Sasuke won't come back. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So, what is we begin this new episode? Shigetsu, Jugo, Karin, all of them stared at Sasuke as he just told them that he was going to kill Itachi. Shigetsu had a thoughtful look on his face, trying to remember something. Karin had a frown, most likely thinking what will happen after they go up against Itachi. Jugo did not seem to care about what Sasuke said that much. He was just not really liking that they were going to kill someone. I knew it, Shigetsu said, as he crossed his arms, as he heard that was Sasuke's goal. When coming to Orochimaru, I knew that you were going to go after your brother. Well, I plan on sticking close to you, seeing that one of the 7 ninja swordsmen at Kiri. He is with Itachi, his name is Kisame. I plan on getting that sword for myself that he has, the Samehata. You're just gathering swords, Karin said. That's so lame. Shigetsu had always dreamed of collecting all the blades, ever since he was a young child, so for her to say that, it was probably the biggest disrespect. Shigetsu, said Sasuke, noticing Shigetsu's glare. I know, he said, knowing that he couldn't do anything because of Sasuke. Jugo, you're free now. What are you gonna do, he asked. Kimimaro said that Sasuke was like his rebirth. As Jugo looked at Sasuke, and Kimimaro sacrificed his life to protect him. I need to see for myself how strong of a shinobi he is. Then it's settled, said Sasuke. Back at Konoha, what do you mean, Sakura said. Angry that Naruto would even think that way. Of course he will come back. But Naruto turned towards her with a rather cold glare. Naive girl, he said. Do you really think that Sasuke will come back? Don't be a fool. If that was the case, he would have come back the last time I offered when we fight. Sasuke's heart is consumed by darkness. All he can think about is revenge. He will not come back to Konoha, since we stand in his way of his revenge. But Naruto, Sakura said. Sasuke-kun he's not coming back, Naruto snapped at her. After everything that has happened, after everything we've done, he has refused time and time again. He's not coming back. Back with Sasuke and his group. From now on, we four move as one. Our group will be known as Hebai, he said. Back at Konoha, the fact of the matter is, you cannot bring someone back if they don't want to come back. And even if we drag him back here by force, what do you think will happen? Do you think we will be Team 7 again, and that things will go back the way they were when we were genuine? You need to face reality, even if we brought him back. Sasuke will be forced to stand trial, and he will be executed for treason. No, Sakura muttered, as her face got a shocked look on it. Naruto is right, Sakura, said Tsunade. Sasuke knowingly and willingly left to follow a S-rank traitor. That is treason of the highest order. Even being the last member of the Uchiha clan cannot protect him from execution. She turned to look to Naruto. I have new orders for you. I will be forming a platoon. Your mission is to go after the Akatsuki, the best member we have a chance of finding. Meanwhile, with the Hebai group, Hebai only has one purpose, Sasuke said. Back at Konoha, in other words, you want us to find, said Naruto. Meanwhile, sitting down on a cliff, looking up in the sky. It looked like a storm is coming, said Itachi, his Sharingan eyes spinning. It's about to rain, said Kisame. Let's wait this out under a tree. We can't have the body getting too cold. Right, said Itachi, as Kisame picked up Roshi, the host for the four-tailed monkey, with his sword. We should be hearing from the leader soon. As the two of them start to walk, Kisame starts a conversation. I wonder, there are only a couple of them left, right? Obviously, we need to seal the Nine Tails last. Our leader has made it clear if we don't, the balance will be destroyed and the sealing statue will crumble. And since we need to bring them back alive, don't you think we need to find the Jinchurikis as quickly as we can? As Itachi leaned against a tree. Not really, he said. Besides, with all the Jinchurikis we were unable to get, trying to capture the Kyuubi will be pointless. Also, we have to worry about Konoha. Response. Should we go after the Kyuubi? They will do all in their power to get it back, and that will cause us problem. I suppose you're right, said Kisame. And Konoha has a lot of allies and contacts in other villages. Not only that, the Kyuubi Jinchuriki is well liked by other hidden villages. The only village he's not liked by is a hidden stone. On top of that, he is far stronger than we could ever imagine. He has also managed to kill several of our members and protect 3 of the Jinchurikis we have gone after. All is it that we can do right now is try to get to the Akatsuki before he can respond, then go after the Kyuubi Jinchuriki with our full might. Kisame sighed. I suppose you're right. Both of them snapped to attention. He has good timing, said Kisame, as they felt the calling from their rings. Back at Konoha, yes, if possible, I want you to find and capture Itachi Uchiha, said Tsunade. I have ordered every squadron to try and capture the members of the Akatsuki alive. But unfortunately, they're not easy to talk to. Naruto and Sakura turned to see Kakashi lean against the door frame. While only Naruto seemed to have any encounter with them, it seems they're too dangerous to capture. Which means, the only thing we can try our best to do is to find Itachi, Naruto said. We need to get him alone without Kisame, since that will make capturing him much harder. That's right, Naruto, said Kakashi. Meanwhile, so, are we going to do this, said Kisame. As stand around for 3 days to seal one Jinchuriki, it was just the worst. We will, said Pain. But first, some information. It seems Orochimaru was killed. Itachi looked over at Pain, his eyes narrowing. Well, it has been 10 years since he left Akatsuki. I suppose it's time finally came. Whoever killed him must have been something else. Who was it? Said Kisame, as Pain's eyes narrowed at Itachi. It was Sasuke Uchiha. I wanted to kill him, Deidara complained as soon as he heard about the man murderer. Huh, impressive. You must be proud of your little brother, Itachi-san, said Kisame. He is gathering up a few underlings, Pain said, ignoring Kisame. All who can prove to be problematic to us. Oh, said Kisame. You should know one of them, said Pain. One of the Kiri brothers, Suigetsu. Huh? Little Suigetsu? Now that take me back, said Kisame. Jugo of Tenpen is with him as well. Kisame, Itachi, you two need to stay alert. They are probably coming after you too. Itachi said nothing as Pain continued. Everyone else, remember what I told you about Sasuke Uchiha. If they learn too much about Itachi and Kisame, they may disrupt Akatsuki plan. Meanwhile, Deidara had a smile on his face. Thoughts of taking out Sasuke himself running through his mind. Back at Konoha, alright, say we do find him. What will we do with him, Naruto asks. Even if we capture him, I doubt Sasuke would want to come back. Not that we could, Itachi is probably one of the dangerous members in the Akatsuki. Capturing him will be next to impossible. If we're even going to attempt to capture him, we're going to need more than one squad. Alone, I should be able to kill him. But capture, that's something else. You need a lot more skill to capture someone than you need to kill them, said Kakashi. You're right about that. And for a mission like this, Naruto said, we need a squad that has experience doing missions together. I agree, said Kakashi. In fact, I already picked a team that has been on a lot of missions together. As he was knocked on the door, come in, said Snavy. As several people walked in, as Naruto smiled, he should have known they would have wanted to be a part of this. Time skip. The members of Akatsuki watched as Roshi's body collapsed down to the floor, dead, after the Bichu was extracted out of him. As the Gedo statue opened one of his eyes. No, 4 open. What's next, said Deidara. What do you mean, said Kisame. What are the choices? Do we go after Kakashi Hatake and the Kyuubi Jinchuriki? Or Sasuke Uchiha, said Deidara. As Itachi opened his eyes slowly, but he didn't say anything. Let's just forget about them, said Toby. Besides, we need to get the Ichibai, right? No, someone or something is protecting the One-Tails. I was nearly blown up with my own art, said Deidara. Until I know who did that, it will not be wise to go after Ichibai. Besides, it was my job to kill Orochimaru. So, I have a beef with Sasuke Uchiha. This statement caused Itachi to activate his Sharingan, as he narrowed them at Deidara but he didn't say anything. Are you okay with that, Itachi-san? Kisame asked, as he knew that his brother was off limits. He was one of the few people that Itachi told him not to touch ever. However, Itachi said nothing at all. Meanwhile, Sasuke and his team looked out from the cliff area that they were on, as the sky was starting to darken. Clouds, storm was coming. Let's move out, he said. Meanwhile, Naruto looked at the team that was assembled for him as they made their way out of the gates of Konoha. He had Sakura, Sai, a man who named Yamato, but Naruto knew that it was just a code name. There was Hinata, Shino, Kiba, Kakashi, who were forming the other team to help look for Sasuke, as they were all wearing coats to protect them from the rain and the cold. Is everyone ready, Naruto asked, as he received several nods as he looked away from Konoha. Then let's go. As the group blurred out of existence, beginning their move to find the Akatsuki. As they went to the last sighting of Itachi Uchiha, a small town several miles away. When they got there, they headed off to the roofs. We will start our search here, Naruto said. We will begin a 5-kilometer search radius by using this roof as our center point. If we don't come up with anything, we will relocate, search another 5 kilometers and then move on. But Naruto Sakura said our wireless equipment won't work if we split up that far, and we will be in danger if something happened when we were alone. We should go in teams of 2 at the very least. That way, if we relax, Sakura, Naruto said, cutting her off. I have already thought of a solution to that. As Naruto looked over at Kakashi, who nodded and cut his thumb as he went through a few hand signs and slammed his hand on the ground. There was a poof, as 8 dogs appear, including the well-known Pakon. Your voices combined with our ears will work better than those wireless headsets, Pakon said, as he was on top of a large dog. And our noses will detect danger fast enough to get you back up. There you have it, Naruto said. Now then, this is how our patrols will work. Each person on patrol will have 2 of Kakashi Ninja dogs as bodyguards. 2 questioned Sakura. But wait, Kakashi gave her a smile. Be nice to them, okay? Hiya, Sakura-chan. As Sakura looked down to her left, to see a dog with a slight mohawk grinning at her, as she gave the dog a weak grin in return. Another one came up to her, this one looking as lazy as Shikamaru. You always pick the noisy girls, man. I'll go with Shino, said a white dog with sunglasses on his head. Another dog came up to Shino and just sniffed him. That was all it said. Sai watched as 2 dogs came up to him. Hello, he said with a smile. One of the dogs then growled at him as he backed up with a step. Naruto, since you're a Jinchuriki, Akatsuki will be targeting you. How do you plan on dealing with that, said Kakashi. They may be after me, but I'm the only one here who can also face a member one-on-one, Naruto said. However, I don't plan to go alone, as he turned to Hinata who was standing by the large bulldog. Hinata, I'm going to rely on your Byakugan scouting abilities to give a fast heads up. Hinata nodded. Right, she said. Now, seeing that Kiba's Akamaru, he'll be fine. He then looked at Kakashi. And seeing aside from me and Yamato, you're one of our only Jonins. You will only take 1 dog. Alright everyone, Naruto said after Kakashi nodded. Regardless on which target you find, you are to report back immediately. As all of them nodded. Alright then, move out. As all of them blurred away, the search for Sasuke and Akatsuki was up. Sasuke stopped walking as he turned towards his team. Split up. Report back if you find anything, he said. Suigetsu just nodded and started to move off one way, Jugo doing the same. As Karin smiled as 2 of them left, she quickly cuddled up to Sasuke. Oh Sasuke-kun, I want to be alone with you. For so long now, she said. Sasuke looked at her. Get moving, he said. As Karin huffed, as she started to walk away, in the opposite direction. As Sasuke turned and looked around, thoughts of finding and killing Itachi filling his mind. Meanwhile, Deidara was sitting on his bird with Tobi. So far so good, yeah, he said, as he placed his hand on his bird. So who should we go after first, Tobi asked. Sasuke? Or the Kyuubi Jinchuriki? Deidara didn't say anything, he created another clay bird and jumped on that smaller one. As he spoke, who should we go after first, he wondered. As the bird took off, as he started to look for one of his targets, he did not care which, so long as he get to use his art. Meanwhile, Suigetsu had a man, head right in its blade, the circle hole on it. You work for Akatsuki Kakatsu as a banker, an accountant, right? As the man was shaking furiously. I'll talk, just please, spare me. Suigetsu grinned widened. That a boy. Keep talking. Meanwhile, Jugo was looking around, having no idea how to start. As he raised his hand, a small bird landed on his finger. I suppose I can start by asking you, he said. Meanwhile, Sakura was walking around town with their dogs, looking around, as she had no idea how she was going to find them. Until one of the dogs then came to a stop, as he started to sniff the ground. As Sakura looked down, what is it? It's faint, the dog said as he sniffed. Very faint, but I was able to pick up some of Sasuke Uchiha's scent. The word caused Sakura's eyes to widen in surprise. She has only been at this for a few minutes, but she already found something. Can you show me where, she said. Just follow me, the dog said as he started to walk in. As they were walking, a girl passed Sakura with red hair and glasses, as their eyes connected for a few seconds. Before the dog stopped walking again, as he sniffed around. Damn it, I lost it, he said. Meanwhile, Naruto's eyes narrowed as he stopped. Hinata, I'm going to need you to hook up with Kakashi, he said. Why, said Hinata. Just do it, and tell him that Akatsuki is in the area. And with that he rushed off, leaving Hinata behind, as he sighed in relief when she left. Jumping into the small clearing, Naruto looked around. I suggest that you come out now, he said. You have gotten really impressive, Naruto-kun. I'm impressed. You've gotten really famous lately. Well, I've gotten famous since my part in the war at Kiri. But that's not what you came to talk about, right, Kabuto? He asked. Kabuto smiled as he lifted his head, revealing the right half of his face. Meanwhile, Sasuke was angry, as he had no sight of Itachi yet. He then stopped in a clearing. "Whoever you are, I suggest you come out," he said. Less than a second later, a figure wearing an orange spiral mask came out on a rock. As Sasuke saw the clothing, that outfit, "You're a Sasuke. So you're Sasuke, huh? You sure do look a lot like Itachi." The moment Itachi's name came up, Sasuke glared at the man. As Toby got off the rock, run off screaming. "Scary," he screamed out. Sasuke then heard flapping as he looked up. Deidara jumped off the bird that he was on, as it swooped down at Sasuke as he landed on a bigger one. "Guts," he said, as the bird exploded. As Deidara smirked, "I did it. I killed that fool." As Toby arrived, "That's Deidara senpai for you," he said. But when the smoke and the dust cleared away, Sasuke was still standing there. He had a white snake around him that protected him from the blast. In a poof of smoke, the snake was gone, and Sasuke stood there in the crater. "You know, this guy looked kind of strong." "Shut up, Toby," said Deidara. "To think, Orochimaru was beaten by this brat. I just can't believe it." As Sasuke didn't say anything but turned on his Sharingan. "Look at the nice glare he's giving us, Toby." Sasuke looked at him for several seconds before asking, "Where is Itachi Uchiha?" "Huh?" said Deidara. "Tell me where Itachi is, and I'll let you go." "You arrogant bastard," said Deidara, as he spoke like he could really defeat him. "Sharingan, huh? You're obviously his little brother. All of you Uchihas are so damn arrogant." "First, I'll play with him with my C1 clay," he said, as he put his hands in his pouch. "Toby, get back." "Alright, Deidara senpai," said Toby. "Meanwhile, what do you want, Kabuto? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you," Naruto asked. As the both of them knew that Naruto was far stronger than him and capable of killing him anytime he wanted. "Easy, I'm not here to fight. In fact, I'm actually here to help you." As Naruto raised an eyebrow, as Kabuto quickly go into his pouch, as Naruto was on his guard. However, all Kabuto did was pull a book and toss it to him. "What's this?" Naruto said. "Just a little something that will help you," he said. It contained all the information I was much able to pick up on the Akatsuki and its members. Not trusting the man's word, a clone faced the existence and picked up the book as it read the first page. The clone found no threat in it as he handed it over to the real and dispelled itself. "Why would you help me?" Naruto asked. "What do you gain out of this?" "I suppose you can call it a present, Naruto-kun," said Kabuto with a smile. "You do realize it's really creepy to receive a gift from a guy you barely know, right?" said Naruto in a sarcastic tone. "It makes one wonder about you. Now how about you tell me the real reason why you're giving me this?" "Haven't you become the cynical one?" said Kabuto. "Wherever did that naive attitude of yours go? The one that was always screaming about never forgetting his promises and becoming Hokage. He grew up. He became the person in front of you. Now tell me, why are you doing this? What do you hope to gain?" "As I said, it's a gift. Something I'm giving you as a show of respect. You know, ever since Orochimaru was killed, I was without a purpose. It wasn't long after his death that I realized I don't really know anything about myself. I don't even know who I am, where I came from. All I got are enemies. Ever since I was a kid, I just went from village to village, acting as a spy. The concept of what a home was really was out of my grasp. That was until Orochimaru-sama took me in. But now he's gone too. I have no idea who I really am. You should know what that is like, Naruto. The pain of not having an identity. Are you Naruto Uzumaki? Or are you the Kyuubi? Surely you must have wondered, asked questions. Who am I? Who am I? What am I? When those others stared at you with cold, hateful eyes." As Naruto said nothing and they just stared at the man, wondering where he was going with this. "But you never let that got to you. You grew powerful. Powerful, you're now one of the most fearless men in the world. Naruto Uzumaki, Namikaze, the son of the 4th Hokage, the second Yellow Flash. You step out of the shadow of the Kyuubi, and now people at Konoha look up to you. You have friends, and you learn who you truly are." Kabuto reached up and pulled his hood back, but Naruto still couldn't see the left side of his face because of the way he sat. But I never did that. I never tried to surpass Orochimaru-sama. I simply clung to him, hide behind his power. So you see, I understand how you must have felt back then. And now, I want to be just like you. It was then that Kabuto turned and finally showed Naruto the left side of his face. And now, I decide to find a new me. One that surpassed Orochimaru. I have started to integrate his soul inside my body. And you gave me the first hint I needed to find myself a new identity. And for that you have my gratitude, Naruto-kun. Orochimaru-sama was a living symbol of reincarnation. And now he lives inside me as the existence I must surpass. For the longest time, Naruto stared at Kabuto. As he gazed at his left side of his face, it looked like the man had skinned Orochimaru and grafted him into his skin. But then Naruto burst out laughing. He laughed long and hard. As he finally managed to catch his breath. Are you serious? He asked. You honestly think that you understand me? As Naruto wiped a tear from his eye, his face then turned cold, his eyes showing no emotion. You know nothing about me. You may think you understand, but from what you just said, you know nothing. I always knew who I was. Unlike some people, I never doubted myself. Sure, when I was a kid, I hid myself. I was afraid of the looks people gave me, the hatred I saw in their eyes. But I never once doubted that I was anyone other than myself. Because if I had felt doubt, it was the same thing as admitting defeat, which I never do. And everything I've done up to this point is because of all my hard work. Shedding blood, sweat and tears to get to this point. And you, Naruto scoffed. You've just grafted Orochimaru's cells into your DNA. You're not surpassing him. You're becoming him. And that's the most pathetic thing I ever seen. To each their own, I guess, said Kabuto with a shrug. Well, whatever. I just came to give you that. However, no. When I fully integrate Orochimaru's cells into my body, I'll be coming back to fight you. As a test of my abilities. As he made a hand seal as his form started to waver. Until we meet again, Naruto-kun, he said. As Naruto watched until the man just vanished. As Naruto then jumped off back into the trees. Moments later, it doesn't matter now, said Deidara, as he ripped off his shirt, showing an odd seal over his heart with stitching on it. As he pulled out the stitches, as another hand went to grab his clay. The stitches came undone and Sasuke was surprised to see they were holding in another mouth. Deidara grinned as the mouth started to eat the clay. As black lines started to spread across his body and his skin started to turn grey. This is my ultimate art, Deidara said. I will detonate myself and with my death, I will become art. This guy's insane, thought Sasuke. This never before seen explosion will be the scar on the land, Deidara said. And in the midst of my art, you will die. Sasuke tried to get up but he collapsed back on his side. He was too exhausted from the battle. An explosion that will cover a 10-kilometer radius. You won't be able to get away from it. By now Deidara had become transparent, only his hair, the black lines were visible, and his eyes. Now suffer in despair, scream, my art is. All of the lines started to move towards the center of his chest to form a ball, a black ball. An explosion, he said, as a white beam of light shot straight up in the sky, as Deidara's entire body was consumed. As it then spread out with a boom, as it took the shape of a large pointed shape, with two pointed cones on the side. The explosion was seen by everyone in the area, including the Konoha ninja. Naruto frowned as he tried to find out the different chakra. He wasn't a sensory type, but he had learned the difference between two different chakra signatures. As he recognized one of them to the bomber that he thought he killed in the sand. I wonder how did he survive, Naruto said. If he's fighting, then it's either one of us, or Sasuke. As Naruto dashed towards the explosion site. Time skip. Deidara is dead. Zetsu reported to the rest of the Akatsuki members, his projection form flickering a bit. He decided to end the battle by turning himself into a bomb. Oh my, Kisame said, the short light grin. It seems we lost another member. I thought that he was pretty strong as well. Itachi opened his eyes to show his Sharingan as he looked at the members. So, who was it that killed him off? Was it Sasuke, or was it the Kyuubi Jinchuriki? It was Sasuke, said Zetsu. However, it seemed like Sasuke was killed in the explosion as well. Only Konoha catch a flicker in Itachi's eyes, seeing that the others were just looking at Zetsu. She was sure that knowledge would help Naruto when the time came for him to fight them. "So, Deidara dragged him to hell, huh?" said Kisame. "You should be grateful," Itachi Pain said. "Deidara died while preventing any unnecessary hindrance to our plan." As Kisame noticed, Itachi's eye flashed towards the leader. "Is it just me?" said Kisame with a grin. "Are we missing someone else?" "Tobi died as well," said Zetsu. "Deidara destroyed everything." Konan did her best to keep herself from reacting out loud to the information. She knew who Tobi really was. There was no way that man was dead. As she wondered if he was ready to get rid of his disguise. If so, she will need to warn Naruto about it. "Oh, really, Tobi? I'm actually surprised he died. The kid always had some escape route. But I guess his number just came up. That must have been one hell of a jutsu, huh?" said Kisame. "It doesn't matter," said Pain. "There are plenty of people around Tobi's level we can choose to replace him." However, Deidara was valuable. "I don't know," said Kisame. "I rather enjoy having Tobi around. He had a knack for turning this place into something more cheerful." Pain just sighed. "I'm leaving. At least mourn for Deidara." Despair in silence. And with that he gone. As Konan left as well. "In that case," said Zetsu, "I'll take care of Tobi's funeral. It's time for us to go." And with that they vanished. As Itachi and Kisame were still there, seeing that they weren't projections, as they had bring the Jinchuriki towards the cave for extraction. "Oi, Itachi, you alright?" Itachi turned towards him, as his Sharingan was spinning, caused Kisame to step back. "You know, you can be pretty scary when you want to be." As usual, Itachi said nothing. Meanwhile, Naruto frowned, as he looked at a large crater. He was the first one to get here, as he did his best to scout, trying to find a piece of evidence of Sasuke or the Akatsuki member. So far, he had not had any luck, but what was he supposed to find in the center of a large crater like this? Something with so much destructive power. From the way the crater looked, there was a small, more concentrated explosive first, as he analyzed the smaller ring that was in the center. After that, it started to spread and destroy everything else. "I can feel the residue of Deidara chakra, but I don't really sense anything from Sasuke." Naruto, as he turned to see the other tracking squad coming out of the trees. As Sakura rushed over and stopped at his side, breathing a tad bit heavier, seeing as she rushed to come over here. "So, what happened?" she said. "I believe Sasuke was fighting the Akatsuki member known as Deidara," Naruto said. "I can detect faint trace of his chakra mixing with the bombers. Unfortunately, so overwhelming, even if my sensory ability were up to snuff, I wouldn't be able to track him." "Kiba." As Kiba came over, "Can you pick up anything?" "It's faint, but I can sense Sasuke here. And I can also smell two other people that were here." "Well, we already know one of them were Deidara," Naruto said. "He's the only one capable of creating something like this. The other is most likely a new recruit since their number has been cut down." As Konan had informed him that Madara was Deidara's partner, as he took on the alias as Tobi. But he didn't want to tell them. To get to Sasuke, they would have to fight Konoha's greatest traitor since the founding of Konoha. "I can pick up another scent," said the small white dog that was with Sakura. "It belongs to the one that was carrying Sasuke's scent in town earlier. It seems like Sasuke has gained a tribal companion since killing Orochimaru. That means that Sasuke has formed his own group." As he turned their attention to Naruto as he spoke, he likely realized that fighting against Itachi would be suicide, most likely with Kisame around. Even if he had the power to beat Itachi, he wouldn't stand a chance against him and Kisame together. "Are you saying that Sasuke can't defeat Itachi?" Sakura said, not quite sure how she should feel about Naruto's statement. "Let us just put it this way, Sakura. Sasuke could get 100 times stronger than before, but 100 times 0 is still 0. The fact of the matter is, when I fought Sasuke and Orochimaru, the skills that he showed was just an A-rank ninja, even with his Sharingan activated. And Itachi's on a higher scale of an S-rank ninja. He's one of the few ninjas that carry the same strength of a Kage, the same level as Sarutobi when he was in his prime. It will take a hell of a miracle for Sasuke to win against Itachi." As Sakura's face get a strange look, like she was trying to defend her crush, and trying to give in to cold, straight facts. As Naruto turned to Pakon, can you pick up any trace of Sasuke's scent? No, I'm afraid not. Sasuke's scent ain't here. Which mean one of two things: he died in the explosion, as he ignored the gasp that came from Sakura, or he used some kind of space-time ninjutsu to escape. That brought up a few complications. While there was a lot of space-time ninjutsu, but they were hard to master. But he could have used some kind of reverse summoning to escape, Naruto thought to himself, as he thought about some theory. All summoners have reverse techniques, but that would require two people for it to work. The person with the other scroll would have to summon the thing away. It would explain why he had a team, a quick escape. Well, say what you want about him, at least he hasn't lost his mind. That is if he didn't get blown to hell. Kiba, can you extend your senses and try to find Sasuke's scent? As Kakashi just watched Naruto, as he felt like he was with his sensei again. You really have grown, thought Kakashi. I'll try, said Kiba, as he closed his eyes. As he made a hand seal, as he stretched his senses to his limit trying to find Sasuke. After a few moments he snapped his eyes open. It looks like you're right, he said. I found him. Nice going, Kiba, Naruto said. Lead the way. And with that they took off behind Kiba. Meanwhile, Konan was watching Nagato. Well, using the body of her friend Yaiko. Before she had met Naruto, she had thought that he was doing it as a way to make their dead friend live on. But after having her eyes open to the truth, she saw it as a perversion. Yaiko wouldn't want that at all. It almost made her sick every time she had to be near to the body now. Shaking her thoughts off, she spoke. Pain, he's here. As he got off the balcony and walked inside. So, how is Sasuke? Pain asks. He's progressing nicely. He was able to use the full power of the Sharingan well. I have no doubt that his eyes will surpass Itachi. The time is drawing near. Soon, I will have his path laid out in front of him. But that depends on Itachi though. There isn't much time left for him after all. Pain took a step forward, and what about the Kyuubi Jinchuriki? It has become more of a thorn in our side than we have expected. The way Pain called Naruto, like he wasn't even a person, made Konan burn with anger. But she kept herself perfectly calm, seeing that the both of them had a dojutsu that could read her like a book. Yes, the Namikaze, said Madara. He spat out the name like it was the most foul thing he had ever tasted. He has grown more powerful than I ever thought. But you will deal with him, Pain. As a leader of the Akatsuki, failure from you won't be tolerated. Meanwhile, I'm picking up his scent. There is no mistaking it's Akiba as he was on top of Akamaru. Judging by the way it's moving, they must be going somewhere to rest. Sasuke was most likely injured in the battle. To be honest, I'm surprised he won in the first place. He likely needs some time to recover from his wound first. This will be our chance to find him. Back with Madara, he's no longer a helpless child. Not only has he made friends, including with hidden villages that he doesn't belong to, many of which hold high-ranking positions, the Mizukage and the Raikage. He has also mastered many powerful jutsu like the Hyrushin and the Rasengan, along with the Fox power. He is in all likelihood more powerful than his father had ever been. Defeating him will not be an easy task. He has managed to kill off two of our members that we know of, and I believe he is the reason why we didn't get to capture Shikaku. Jinchuriki. You speak of him like he's some kind of threat, said Konan coldly. She didn't like talking badly about her Naruto, but she needed to keep up appearances. Pain has never lost a battle before, she said. He simply chuckled. Well, that is true. But then again, ever since his training trip, Namikaze has not lost a battle since. He walked over as he picked up his Akatsuki robe and threw it on. I believe our business is done here. Tell the others hurry up and capture the Jinchurikis. But leave the two and one Tails alone until we have the Kyuubi. If he's protecting them, then there will be no chance of capturing them until he's taken care of. I understand, Pain said. We are close to achieving our goal, said Madara as he walked towards the balcony, as a storm was brewing in the sky. Then, everything will go back to the way it's supposed to be, he said, as the lightning started to flash and the rain started to pour down. Soon, I will show the full power of the Sharingan. The true power of me, Uchiha Madara, he said. Konan almost snorted as he heard the egotistically boasts. As she held it in though, as Madara disappeared in space-time jutsu. As she looked up, the sky is crying again, she said. As she looked at Pain, I only hope some way Naruto can save you, she thought. Back at Konoha, did you find out anything from your spy network? Jiraiya was serious as he looked at Tsunade. I find the whereabouts of the Akatsuki leader, he said. As Shizune and Tsunade were surprised. Really? Tell me everything now, Jiraiya. Don't hold back any information you have, she said. This is a serious breakthrough. Cut off the head and the body will fall. If they took out the head of the Akatsuki, the rest of them would surely wither away as well. We should use that information to plan a surprise attack, said Shizune. Now, take it easy, said Jiraiya, as his layback persona returned. Calm down, said Tsunade. Her hand started to twitch like she wanted to strangle Jiraiya. This isn't like making a sequel to one of your novels, Jiraiya. We can't afford to waste time. Naruto's life is dependent on the defeat of the Akatsuki. She cannot name the Whisker Blonde her successor until they take out that group, damn it. Nothing good can come from being impatient, you know, said Jiraiya. Especially when the stakes are high like this. Now what do you say me and you go out for a few drinks? Like the old days, huh? Then we can talk. A tick mark came on Tsunade's head. You idiot! I am the Hokage. I can't just go out and drink in the middle of the day. Shizune's sweat dropped. You go out and drink every time, she thought. Don't you feel any shame thinking about drinking right now when our ninjas are out on dangers? An hour later, Tsunade slammed down the sake on the table. That hit the spot, she said. You should really practice what you preach, Haim, said Jiraiya, as he saw the 9 empty bottle of 6 on the ground. And you're drinking straight from the bottle. You should act a little more responsible. You're the Hokage after all. Meanwhile, Suigetsu looked at her room and sighed. It had been so lucky that Sasuke managed to summon Manda and escape at the last second from the explosion. Honestly, he was surprised. He thought Sasuke was dead. Lucky thing Sasuke came up with that plan and told him to do it even if he assumed the worst. He then reversed summoning by the scroll and the blood that he was given. They had managed to take him to an inn where he could rest and heal. Hopefully it wouldn't take too long though, because Suigetsu was getting bored. As he looked at sleeping Uchiha before looking back over at Jugo, who currently had a flock of birds on him. Jugo, I'm going to look for Karen, he said. Jugo simply nodded. As he reached for a door, but it was kicked off its hinges, smashing right into his face. As Karen stomped on the door to keep his face under it. Wake up, Sasuke, said Karen, as she continued to squash Shigetsu's face. We've been followed. What should we do? Sasuke blinked as he looked at her. As she blushed, even when he just wakes up. He's so hot, she thought. We're leaving, Sasuke said. Jugo, get ready. Mark all of the Akatsuki hideouts that we knew on the map. Jugo nodded, and several minutes later the 4 of them were on the move again. You alright, Sasuke? Asked Getsu, noticing the bandages that Sasuke still have on. I'm fine, Sasuke said. My body ability to heal got a lot faster after I gained Orochimaru ability. I guess this is a healing power of the White Snake. Whoever is following us, whether it be Akatsuki or Konoha, they may have information on Itachi, said Karen. It may be a good idea to ambush. What do you think, Sasuke? She asked. If their number is as large as you said, then it's most likely Konoha. Akatsuki only move in groups of 2. So ambushing them would just be a big waste of time, said Suigetsu. Exactly. We ignore them for now, said Sasuke. So what will we do? Asked Karen. We find Itachi, Sasuke said. As he pulled out a scroll, in the worst case scenario, you guys will have to hold off the Konoha shinobis. He knew that they would die if that was to happen. If Konoha was after him, they would most likely send him. And if he was here, then even these 3 combined would be no match for Naruto. Not that it mattered to Sasuke, some sacrifices had to be made for his ambitions. For now we will move as Hebai, he said. We will use Jugo information to check out the Akatsuki hideouts one by one. Let's go. Hold on for a minute, said Karen, as she had Sasuke close. As she looked at Jugo, what are you doing, Sasuke, old clothes? As he looked at her strangely. No special reason, you idiot, she said. Meanwhile, Sasuke is on the move again, said Kiba. As Naruto was confused, why would Sasuke be on the move again after fighting an S-class ninja? He has to be injured after that battle. Is he that stupid to go after Itachi in his state right now? Either he is and doesn't care, or he has a good medical ninja in their squad, or he has a censor on their team. Guys, if Sasuke has a sensor on his team, there's a high possibility they sense us coming, and they're getting away from us. We will need to hurry if that's the case. Wait, Kiba shouted. There's something wrong here. Sasuke's scent is splitting up. It's going off in multiple directions. They must have caught on to us, said Kakashi, as Naruto came to the same conclusion. They're likely using this as a means to a distraction, while they get away clean. That means they do have a powerful sensor shinobi at their side, Naruto said. Someone who was skilled enough to recognize that not all chakra signatures here are human. Whoever found out about this, find out that we're using named dogs, and they split Sasuke's scent somehow. Damn it, I never heard of someone with sensor abilities that powerful, Naruto thought. The distance between all the scents is too great for us to use our radios, said Kiba. I don't even think that named dogs have that kind of hearing range. And I'm the only one that can track him, but I can only go after one scent, Kiba said. It seems like you forgot who you're talking to, Naruto said. I'm a one-man army. As he created multiple of clones as he shot off in all directions, searching for Sasuke. As everyone just looked at the mass amount of clones as they remember how he abused his jutsu in his youth. As the real Naruto swapped himself out with a clone, so no one would expect that he was gone. For a while anyways, because someone was tailing him. As Naruto landed right down in a clearing, you know, I thought you'd be heading off to go after your brother, Itachi. It seems like not much get past you these days. You have grown quite powerful, Naruto, Itachi said. As he stepped from behind a tree, his Sharingan already activated. Naruto's body was set to fight. Well, I kinda have to be on my edge, seeing that I have some S-rank ninjas after me. And I don't wish to die by having the Kyuubi ripped out of me. Indeed, Itachi said. But guys, be end this episode right here. If you want the next part of this story, know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the bell notifications they posted. But for now, I'm out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.